Is a VA loan the right loan for you? Well, in this episode, that's what we're going to talk about. Hello, welcome back to Southern Maryland Real Estate Businesses in Life. I'm Brian Umbach. I'm your Southern Maryland-based real estate agent with Real Broker.
And I am Emily Johnson, a loan originator with First Home Mortgage.
In this episode, we're going to be talking about VA loans. VA loans are the great opportunity for military members, veterans, and surviving spouses to get in a home with little or no money down. No money down normally, but you do have closing costs. That's why I say little to no money down. So my background, as some of you know, I am actually retired military. I was in the security forces in the United States Air Force. And most of my career, I was a military working dog handler. So I also deployed to the Middle East 6 times. And I have lots of friends that are, retired military now or still active duty that have deployed. And this is one of those benefits that I always highly encourage them to take advantage of it. It's a benefit that you have in the military, and a lot of people, we forget about these benefits. So, Emily, can you tell us a little bit about the VA loan? And they're pretty popular in this area also.
VA loans are very popular down here, especially with us being so close to PAX and Andrews and some of the other bases. A lot of people are being PCS down here. So we see that a lot. We also call the VA loan the Cadillac of loans because there are so many different things that you can do with it, and it's very lenient. Pretty much the Veteran Housing Administration is just trying to do whatever is best for the veteran. So they're very lenient with ratios and underwriting and some of the other things. As you mentioned, Brian, you do not need a down payment if you have enough entitlement to support the house that you're purchasing. So what that means is the Housing Administration is saying they will cover 25% of the loan if the veteran is to default. So if this is your first time purchasing with a VA loan, you don't need a down payment. You can also have multiple houses at one time using your VA as long as you have entitlement. So say you exceed that 25%, then you have to start putting down payments on the future homes that you buy. So it's a great program. It helps support our veterans. With VA loans, we do not charge any lender fees, which is great for the veteran. That kind of brings their closing costs down some. And then you also do not have to pay mortgage insurance on VA loans. So overall, it's a great product. You can receive up to 4% seller credit on the loan and additional debt to be paid down if necessary.
So, Emily, are there any other fees involved in the VA loan?
Yes, so there is a one-time fee that the veteran or their survivor has to pay. It is what is called a funding fee. So this is a one-time payment that kind of goes into a pot for everyone that has a VA loan, and that's money that is used to help cover the loan in case there's a default from a veteran on a different loan. So that is a one-time fee. However, if you are 10% or more disabled, you are exempt from paying that fee, which is amazing because that can save you a lot of money in the long run. And then if it's your first time using the fee, you have a certain percentage that you have to pay. And if it's a subsequent use, then there's an additional fee that you have to pay. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Everything else is standard for closing cost fees.
That's awesome. Yeah, the VA loan, because I've used it, it's really simple. And I know the biggest thing as it goes along, so coming from an agent perspective is we do have to pay attention to the VA appraisal process, which has to be a specific VA approved appraiser. Emily and I cannot go to a house and say, well, this is what it appraises at, because we're not appraisers. You have to be certified and licensed. So the VA appraiser is going to go take a look, and it has to appraise for what we're offering. Now, let's say we offered $450, but the appraisal comes back at $440. We can go back and renegotiate with the seller as long as we do have the appraisal addendum in our initial contract. Or we just have to come up with the $10,000 to cover that $440 to $450 and then continue the VA loan. Other than the normal documents that we're going through in the pre-approval video, are there any additional documents for a VA loan that you're going to need?
Yeah, so if they are active duty and they are moving here to a different duty station, we do have to have a copy of their orders to confirm when their start date is and that they're actually coming here to a duty station. We also need a copy of their certificate of eligibility, but that's something that I can pull on my own as a lender. I don't have to require it from or request it from the buyer. And then we also just have to confirm that there are no crazy VA childcare expenses as a requirement of VA. But other than that, everything else is pretty standard. A copy of the LES, W-2s, you know, tax returns, all that kind of stuff, bank statements.
So there you have it. There's information on the VA loan. It's a great loan to use if you're a military veteran, if you're a active duty military, or if you're a surviving spouse, to help you get into your home. So as we're continuing on with the Home Buyer's Guide video series, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, because we're going to be covering a lot more about this home buying process. Again, I'm Brian Umbach. I'm a Southern Maryland-based real estate agent.
And I'm Emily Johnson, a loan originator with First Home Mortgage.
Reach out to us if you have any questions. All of our information will be down below.